They laughed at the primitive volunteer division from Earth until they noticed the soldiers' dogged tenacity and aggressive bloodlust. Ryan Sullivan marched through the chrome halls of the Galactic Council chambers, regulation boots snapping against metal grate flooring. The human soldier had fought bugs the size of tanks and psychic squids that could fry brains from orbit, but the scowling alien faces in the council room still set him on edge. Something was up. The furred visage of Orion, the leonine Cation representative, emerged from the scrum of alien bodies. White fangs flashed behind black lips. Human. We have received reports of a crisis that requires your species' unique brand of savagery. Ryan quirked an eyebrow. He recalled how the council mocked human soldiers as primitive brutes, hardly better than armed apes. Now they wanted something. Figured. Orion paced, tail swishing behind him. Malgus, a rogue Cation warlord, has overtaken the mining world of Cephas III. He plans to strangle our empire by seizing control of the rare minerals needed to forge FTL drives. Let me guess, Ryan drawled. You want my men to run in and shoot him? The Cation hissed. If only it were so simple. Malgus has a whole army dug into a fortress. We sent our finest troops and lost 3 divisions breaching the outer walls. Only a band of insane human mercenaries would be foolhardy enough to break their lines. Images of burned alien bodies flashed across wall monitors, illuminating the grisly fate of the last poor bastards to try. Ryan straightened his shoulders. I'll take the job, but I need my pick of human soldiers from every colony world. If we fail, it ain't just my species looking like fools. Without those minerals, the council is fucked. Orion growled, clearly despising the need to beg aid from lowly Terrans. But Ryan saw the fear in those golden feline eyes, fear of a galaxy in flames. Ryan wasted no time pulling together his squad. He slapped Jack Boomer Riggs on the back, his demolitions expert buddy, while Boomer laughed at some inside joke between them. Sam Glitch Nakamura, resident tech whiz, was already hacking away at a console running Sims. Liam Ghost McTavish, stoic as ever, had his sniper rifle stripped and cleaned in seconds flat. The gang was back together. The team assembled on Ryan's ship, the Valkyrie. Orion's fur bristled as he explained their target. Malgus holed up in some fortified bunker on the surface, surrounded by hostile jungle. Elite Cation warriors patrolled the perimeter. The place looked like a damn anthill from the SAT images. So how are we cracking this nut? Boomer asked, cracking his knuckles. Ryan smirked. Glitch sneaks in quiet to their comms relay, fucks with their security. Then the rest of us drop into the jungle and infiltrate on foot, while Glitch keeps them busy. We find Malgus, put some lead in his ass, grab the minerals, and pop smoke for council extraction. Risky shit, Ghost muttered. When we'd ever had it easy, let's gear up. The Valkyrie fell into orbit, final checks on ammo tech contingencies. Orion watched, eyes narrowed, as the humans strapped blades, railguns, and other deadly toys Orion had never seen. Ryan caught Orion's look and grinned. Stick with us, Furball. We'll show you what humans do best. Ryan clasped arms with Glitch before he peeled off to the comms array in a single drop pod. The rest of the squad crowded into the dropship, Orion wedged between them. Recycled air hissed from the vents as they plunged into Atmo. The jungle rose up to swallow them, an ocean of green, sweat already beaded on Ryan's neck before they even touched dirt. Whatever was waiting for them down there, he knew one thing for sure. The council had called the right killers for the job. The dropship shuddered as it hit dirt in the tiny jungle gap, engines winding down with a mechanical sigh. Ryan slapped the release and hopped out, regulation boots sinking into the soft soil. Boomer, Ghost, and Orion piled out behind him, spreading into a defensive perimeter and scanning the dense green curtain for movement. Nothing but the buzz of alien insects and the distant cries of birds. Or what passed for birds on this rock. Ryan double-checked the coordinates Glitch had fed them. The bunker was due north, maybe 2 clicks through this mess of trees and vines. He flashed quick hand signals, and the team started creeping forward, the humid air already plastering their fatigues to their skin. The jungle felt more alive than any Ryan had seen on Earth. Leaves the size of a man's torso, flowers in colors that seared the eyes, but that beauty could kill as quick as any plasma bolt. He kept his rifle up, safety off, as they pushed ahead meter by meter, following their waypoints toward the target. Orion, slinking alongside Ryan, murmured, "Something's not right. We should have seen patrols by—" His words died in his throat as a dozen Cation warriors materialized out of the foliage ahead, resplendent in their polished exo-armor and thrumming pulse rifles. Ryan's hand shot up in a fist, freezing his team in place. But Orion lost his shit. The furball ambassador roared a battle cry and charged straight at his fellow Cations before anyone could stop him. Ryan bit back a curse as the patrol reacted, energy weapons flaring to life and spitting streams of superheated plasma through the trees. "Shit. Boomer, Ghost, get around their flank and take these fuckers out," Ryan barked into the comm bead in his ear. "I'll keep 'em busy." He shouldered his rifle and opened up, the chatter of kinetic rounds drowning out the jungle noises. He had to give Orion credit. The cat was no coward, dancing between the plasma bolts and trying to close with a wicked-looking curved blade in his hand. But a stray shot clipped the Cation in the shoulder and spun him to the dirt. Meanwhile, Ghost and Boomer were getting in position. Ryan caught a flash of Boomer pulling an egg-shaped device from his pack. The smart grenade sailed into the patrol's midst and detonated in a rippling sphere of light and a bone-rattling whoomp of concussion. Cations stumbled, electronics flickering. Ghost made the most of it. The sniper's railgun cracked again and again from his perch, punching holes through fancy armor like it was paper. Boomer joined in with his saw, and between the two of them, they scythed down the remaining hostiles in seconds. Ryan sprinted over to Orion, who was struggling to sit up, his wound leaking smoke and the coppery scent of blood. "Hold still, I got you." Ryan pulled a tube of Instaseal from a belt pouch, the nanotech gel flowing over the injury and bonding it closed. "You're gonna be okay, but that was a stupid stunt. We're a team, remember? No solo shit." Orion grimaced, his pride clearly smarting worse than his body. "I apologize. I allowed my temper to get the better of me. It won't happen again." "Better not if you want to make it out of this mess." Ryan hauled him to his feet. "Come on, we're almost to the bunker. Let's finish this job and get off this rock." Ghost and Boomer rendezvoused with them, and the team got moving again, albeit more cautiously. The compound's outer wall soon loomed out of the tree line, all reinforced metal and sensor arrays. Whatever Malgus had in there, he sure as hell wanted it kept safe. Ryan's comm bead buzzed, and Glitch's digitized drawl filled his ear. "Boss, I'm jacked into their systems and ready to make some noise. Security's tighter than a nun's ass in here, but I'll keep 'em scrambling long as I can." "Do it." Ryan unslung his rifle and slapped a fresh mag home. "We're going in." The team crouched at the jungle's edge, pulses pounding, waiting for Glitch to rock their world. Ryan drew in a breath, the calm before the storm, and whispered, "All right, you alien bastards. Time to show you what a few lowly humans can do." Glitch's voice crackled over the comms. "Playtime's over, boys. Watch your six." Sirens screamed to life inside the bunker, emergency lights flashing in dizzying patterns. Ryan heard the thunder of boots on metal as the Cation garrison scrambled to battle stations. The diversion was set. It was go time. Ryan sliced through the perimeter fence with a monomolecular blade, the carbon lattice weave parting like silk. Boomer, Ghost, and Orion slipped through behind him, hugging the bunker's ridged flank. They stacked up on the entrance hatch, weapons hot. "Boomer, pop it," Ryan hissed. The demo expert grinned and slapped a brick of Semtex on the locking mechanism. They ducked back as the shaped charge dissolved the door in a burst of plasma and vaporized metal. Smoke curled from the ragged hole. "Knock, knock, assholes," Boomer whooped. They plunged into the maze of corridors, scanners sweeping for targets. Glitch's intrusion protocols had the interior cameras and sentry guns on the fritz, but Malgus's elite guard weren't so easily fooled. Plasma bolts sizzled down the passage, and Caitians in black exo-armor came bounding around the corner, fangs bared. Ghost dropped two with tight double taps to the head, railgun slugs punching through their helmets. Ryan took another in the chest with a 3-round burst, the hollow points turning armor and bone to jelly. Orion proved his worth, breaking a guard's neck with a vicious twist of his claws. Boomer whooped as he shotgunned a Caitian point blank, spraying the walls with blood and brains. "I'm a one-cat wrecking machine." They fought their way into the heart of the bunker, a running battle of bullets and blades. Boomer rigged terminals and power junctions with satchel charges as they went, sowing chaos. The layout soon diverged from the schematics Orion had provided. Malgus had been busy. "Stay frosty," Ryan growled. "We're in the shit now." Orion consulted his wrist comp. "The central nexus should be ahead. The minerals will be there." And Malgus, the warlord himself. Ryan felt a dark grin tug at his mouth. He was looking forward to putting that mad dog down. They breached the final doors with a kicker charge and stormed into the chamber, rifles leveled. The nexus was a huge domed space, studded with bracing columns and raw stone walls. Consoles ringed the perimeter, stacked with glittering, uncut jewels of unimaginable value. And in the center, lounging on a makeshift throne of scavenged metal, was Malgus. His armor was ebon black, trimmed with platinum. He was bigger than the guards they'd faced, muscles rippling beneath his pelt. A cadre of his best fighters crouched around him. Malgus's eyes gleamed as he spotted the intruders. "Welcome, humans," he purred, lips curling back from dagger-like teeth. "I must admit, I'm impressed you made it this far, but your little insurgency ends here." He flicked his fingers, and the Caitians attacked, leaping from the dais in a wave of fangs and claws. Ryan's team met them head-on, ARs and PDWs barking in the enclosed space. Malgus's guards were good, fast and strong, but the humans were better. Boomer brained one with the butt of his shotgun. Ghost hamstrung another with his mono-edged combat knife. Orion held his own, dueling a guard with the skill of a seasoned killer, but Malgus's troops just kept coming. Plasma bolts and ricochets filled the air, the smell of ozone and blood. They were badly outnumbered. Ryan gritted his teeth as he put down two more Caitians with precise headshots. They needed to end this fast. His eyes locked on Malgus across the melee. The warlord hadn't moved from his throne, content to let his minions die for him. Their eyes met, and Malgus smiled, cold and cruel. Ryan knew what he had to do. He slapped a fresh mag into his rifle. "Cover me!" he roared and charged. Ryan charged Malgus, rifle blazing. The warlord's guards fell as the human closed in, determined to end this once and for all. He slammed into Malgus and they grappled, rolling across the floor in a tangle of limbs and snarls. Malgus was strong, his Caitian physique rippling with genetically enhanced muscle, but Ryan had raw grit on his side. They traded blows, claws raking against combat armor, fists thudding into flesh. Ryan headbutted Malgus, his helmet cracking the warlord's jaw. Malgus roared and threw him off, both of them staggering to their feet. Around them the battle raged on. Boomer whooped as he tackled a guard, ramming his armored knee into the Caitian's face again and again until it caved in with a wet crunch. Ghost flowed like liquid shadow, his monofilament blade slicing throats and tendons with surgical precision. Orion fought with the ferocity of a lion, his claws and fangs as deadly as any human weapon. And then Glitch was there, storming into the fray with a feral grin, his pistol barking. The tech specialist moved like a dancer, spinning and weaving between enemies, the gun an extension of his will. The Caitians fell back before the unexpected assault, Glitch's HUD-assisted aim dropping them like flies. For a heartbeat it looked like they would win. Ryan and his team were an unstoppable force, a shining example of humanity's potential, but Malgus had one last trick up his sleeve. A hidden panel in the wall slid open, and a dozen fresh Caitian warriors spilled out, weapons ready. They were the warlord's elite guard, the best of the best. Ryan, still grappling with Malgus, could only watch helplessly as they hit his team like a tidal wave. Ghost went down first, a plasma bolt catching him in the chest. It burned through his armor like tissue paper, and he crumpled, his rifle clattering to the floor. Boomer roared in rage and grief, charging the reinforcements with murder in his eyes. His shotgun boomed again and again, cations falling in sprays of blood and bone, but there were too many. They swarmed him, plasma fire and vicious claws tearing him apart. Glitch and Orion fought back to back, a whirlwind of death, but even they couldn't hold out forever. A stun baton caught Glitch in the temple, and he went down twitching. Orion snarled and lashed out, but a neural net enveloped him, shorting out his armor and sending him into convulsions. Ryan howled in anguish, desperation, and fury, consuming him. His team, his friends, fallen or captured. Because of him. Because he'd led them here. He battered at Malgus with renewed strength, all technique forgotten, just a primal need to destroy. Malgus laughed, cruel and mocking, even as he bled from a dozen wounds. "You've lost, human," he sneered. "Your kind will always be nothing more than upstart primitives, fodder for the Cation war machine." Something snapped in Ryan, a cold, merciless clarity. He lunged inside Malgus's guard, locking his hands around the warlord's head. Malgus's eyes widened in sudden fear as he realized his mistake, but it was too late. Ryan wrenched with all his augmented strength, and Malgus's neck shattered with a sickening crack. The remaining Cations froze, staring in shock as their leader toppled to the floor, head lolling at an unnatural angle. Ryan used their hesitation, slamming his fist down on the beacon that would summon the Council fleet. The bunker shook as orbital fire rained down on the complex, the first salvo of a cleansing bombardment. Ryan ran to the cache of vital minerals, scooping them into a reinforced satchel. Then he gathered up Orion, the Cation groaning weakly, and sprinted for the extract point. Tears stung his eyes as he left Boomer and Ghost behind, but there was no time. They had to get out before the whole place came down on their heads. The dropship was waiting, engines howling. Ryan all but threw Orion aboard before leaping in himself, ordering the pilot to punch it. The ship rocketed into the sky as the bunker collapsed in on itself, the firestorm of the Council's vengeance scouring it from the face of the planet. In the aftermath, the Council hailed the mission as a resounding success. Malgus was dead, the minerals secured, the Cation threat ended. There were medals and speeches and parades, but for Ryan it all turned to ash in his mouth. Half his team was gone, killed by the Council's hubris and lack of intel. The image of Ghost and Boomer, broken and abandoned, haunted him day and night. As he healed from his wounds, both physical and mental, a cold determination crystallized in Ryan's heart. He would find out who was responsible for this disaster, for sending his team in blind. He would make them pay, and he would ensure that his brothers' sacrifices were remembered, that their names were carved into legend. The galaxy thought humans were primitive, little better than apes with guns. But Ryan would show them the depths of humanity's true strength, their resilience, their adaptability, their indomitable will. He would be the vanguard of his species, the tip of the spear, and he would drag them kicking and screaming into the light, no matter the cost. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.